everybody. We're going to try this again. So welcome to Para-Ops, Open-Minded Paranormal Skeptics. I'm your host, Sky. Our special guest will be with us momentarily. We had some technical difficulties. Some of you in the comments were suggesting it was spirits, so thank you for that. We appreciate it. It probably was.
We can't wait for you to come back and tell us more about those spirits, because why is my broadcast haunted? For real, though.
No, Larissa, you missed it. Sky, I don't know what she was doing. She was walking around her house, and all of a sudden, I said, "What are we watching? Paranormal Activity?" Because that's what it looked like. And then everything went black, and me and Anna were cracking up so hard, and we were like, "What is happening?"
Well, I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is. Why this happened, but now Anna is saying she can't get the link.
Oh no!
It's personal. It's got to be personal. Well, in the meantime, Sky, introduce everyone. Introduce me. They don't know who I am.
Sky?
Is she frozen again? All right. Well, I'm going to say that it's Sky that's haunted. So I'm going to just go ahead and introduce myself. So this is Larissa. I am one of Para-Ops' hosts here. Sky is the other host. She's having technical difficulties. I'm beginning to believe that Sky may be possessed. Marlena, on to you.
I'm Marlena. I'm the senior case manager, the PR manager for Third Eye Productions. I'm also a chaos magician on the team and one of the lead psychics. I'm just a jack of all trades at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm also a medium. I forgot that part. There's Sky.
I had to switch to my cell phone.
Okay.
Oh, here's Anna. We gotta let Maria in. Let Maria in. Hey, Maria.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Okay, let's say hi to everybody. There's Ken. There's Alan. Let's say hi. Hi, Dr. Ken.
Hey.
This is Dennis. Hi, Dennis. And Dennis, you don't need me to make you dizzy. All right. This is Anna. They feel bad for you. We didn't even introduce you yet, and they feel bad already. I'm already getting in trouble. Oh, there's Alan. Oh, here's Casey. Off the rails right away. Whatever, Casey. I'm late. I'm always late.
We wouldn't be us without the technical difficulties and the craziness. I'm just saying. We wouldn't be us.
Right. Anna, that's hey, oh hello Paula. Anna, let's hear a little bit about you. I'm excited to hear about you.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on the show. So I write paranormal memoirs and anthologies, and I have so far about 4 books. I have a 5th one coming up. I told you this before the show. I worked at a high school. I was a school counselor. And then I had a small practice, and I traveled a lot all over the world. And it kind of was happenstance that I started meeting people who during dinner, when I was touring or taking pictures and things like that, would tell me some really weird stories. I guess I must have that kind of face. So it started with that. And then from there, I started compiling the stories and kind of like just getting details from people. Eventually, it spiraled into what it is now. People telling me like really strange accounts. It could be Bigfoot. It could be an infestation. This latest one is very puzzling to me, and I have a co-author on this one. We're not really quite sure what we have. So it's kind of like one of those things where we're playing it by ear. We're getting the facts, and as we're gathering facts, we're writing the book.
What do you think it is?
To me, this particular situation, which started when she was a small child, I believe was brought about by a haunted object that was introduced into the home. The experiencer that was living in there was living with 2 other siblings. The father he was in World War II, let's put it that way. He was a trooper inside an army tank. And in one of the times where they got to stop to get water, to get provisions, this is like towards the end of World War II. It was about 1945, and Germany had already fallen. And in the process, what happened was they were looting, and he came upon a pistol. They called it, I believe, a Luger. And apparently, that pistol, according to a psychic I consulted, had killed thousands of people.
Wow.
Because they would come in and just massacre people and shoot them while they stood by the river, one right after the other.
Oh.
Her father took it home as a trophy because he discovered a German guy who was suffering. And instead of like trying to help him, the man was surrendering. He picked up that pistol and shot him in the head. And that, my personal belief, and I can't prove it, but it seemed like it was a catalyst for what was to happen to the family. He took it home. He flew back to the U.S. at the end of the war, and it ended up in that house.
That's just tragic, just all around, just terribly sad.
Yeah.
Wow. So have you ever been a paranormal investigator? Have you ever investigated yourself?
I have. I was actually asked that question, and my response has always been not so much as an investigator as one of the people that resided in the dwelling. I got started in this because my father actually was visited and haunted for several months. And if you recall the movie Mothman Prophecies, when I first saw that film, I was actually in a movie house, and it brought about just a lot of very strange feelings. I actually went back to the Philippines, which is where I was born and raised, and actually saw the area, saw the river, and saw the actual townhouse where my parents lived when I was a child. And in that back area of the townhouse, there was a huge, huge window, probably went by 7 feet high. And the window had a span of about 6 feet. So it was pretty big. It was like a picture window. And my father claimed to have seen it there with its bat-like wings and a face that had the visage of pretty much what you would say is Mothman. It had a goat face, and it had like these eyes that were penetrating, and he felt like it was going to take his soul. So I wasn't so much as an investigator as I was someone who was part of a family that I felt was infested. And when I moved out of there as a small child, we moved to my grandparents' house. And that one was actually unwittingly a house that was built on a burial ground for Japanese soldiers.
Wow.
So on top of that being, which I don't know that we want to call it a Mothman, some people say it's actually a demon itself. It came and followed us. We were only about maybe 3 miles away from the old townhouse. And then on top of that, there were all kinds of infestations in my grandmother's house.
Wow. And that was all in the Philippines.
And that was all in the Philippines. And then there's also another home that's in the family. And that one, you can see the face of a woman on the lower left-hand corner of the armoire mirror. The armoire is still there.
Must have been terrifying growing up being, yeah. Just terrifying.
Yeah. There were some
dead people.
Oh, I know. And the funny thing is with this armoire, every member of the family has seen the face. I am the only one that for some reason cannot see that face. Even one time I came in, I shut the lights off and looked right into the mirror in the dark. There was nothing.
You're brave. You're brave. No. No. Well, that's amazing. And all of this stuff is in your books, in your memoirs.
The first one that I wrote called Portal does have that account in there. That one is more, I would say, part autobiographical, and then part of it had to do with all the different places I'd been to. And previously, you had asked me if I investigated. There were some cases where I actually did look into. There was one where there was a dog man. They had a different name for it. They called it a jinn, which is something that they believe is extremely evil. This is a trip I took in Morocco, and whatever it was used to come through this very narrow and dark alley right outside a very old university. And that one, I actually walked through the area to determine why that was happening. I mean, it was very, very brooding, very dark. It was one of those places you don't want to be in, for the plain and simple reason that it's also a safe spot.
That's crazy. Well, none of that is going to compare to our EVP tonight. No, your stories put it to shame. I don't even want to show my clip. Yes, I was going to say something, Dr. Ken. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't leave Pennsylvania because of that.
They made a contract with the gin? No, thank you.
Oh, a contract. I thought he said contact. A contract.
No, they made a contract with the gin.
Well, they didn't watch Supernatural. They didn't watch that show. No, that's a no-no. All right, well, let's show our clip because I know that do you think you bring some of these spirits? Oh, yeah. Do you? Do you think any of them follow you?
They follow you.
Are you asking me?
I think he is, yes.
They don't want to hear from us.
Well, it's weird because I think that sometimes when we talk about these things, there is a tendency for these spirits or whatever they are to wander about and come near us. And Dr. Ken knows this really well. I tend to be very spiritual, not so much religious, but spiritual. I always wear a crucifix, which I'm wearing right now. And I try to always invoke prayers of protection to prevent anything from coming near me. I actually had an incident, interestingly enough, where I was on a podcast and I decided, because it was the middle of the summer, I would sit outside on the deck. Now, if you know where I live, I have nothing around me but a farm and trees on one side. It's not a huge forest by any means, but it is wooded. And when you're out there, it's pitch dark. So I brought my laptop out there and I had a couple of lights on the deck, plus the light that was, coming from the laptop. But all around me, it was pitch dark. And as I proceeded to talk about a haunting that I was pretty familiar with, I sensed movement in the dark, and I just had this very, very cold chill. And this is summer, so I don't know where the chill was coming from. But I also had this very heavy feeling come over me, and a feeling I was being watched. So what I did was, and I'm not that brave. You think I'm brave. I'm really not that brave. I picked up the laptop in the middle of the broadcast and made my way inside the house.
Yep.
Here I am, that the whole thing is moving. And this woman is saying, "Where are you going?" I said, "I think I need to get inside," because whatever it was, I felt like it was coming towards me.
It was like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You are brave. I would have never gone outside. You had me at pitch black forest.
It
All right.
Homo?
let's see what you think of this clip. What's Nicomo? What does that mean?
I don't know. Dennis, what's Nicomo?
Dennis, what does that mean? Is that a code word? Anna, is that a code word?
I have no idea. Nicomo.
All right. Did he
Little
respond?
people of the forest.
Oh,
Oh, me. Like little
oh,
leprechauns.
Stop it. I live in the woods. Stop.
oh.
They're coming for you.
Uh-oh.
Live action found
Live
footage.
action footage.
All right,
right.
Sky,
Are we
let's
ready to
throw it
show
up.
it?
Yeah.
I'm throwing it up.
All right, Anna, I don't.
What year is it? How old are you? Do you like that ball on the table? Can you knock on the door? Can you finish this? You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. Somebody say sure. Here,
you know,
have that flashlight on the table?
wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here.
very
Are you
clear.
going to
Yeah.
church on Friday?
That sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was.
Did you hear it? Here.
Yep.
That was a little boy.
Yep.
That was my buddy.
Is that in Hell House?
No.
No.
That little boy was at George Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Marlena, you were on team B, right?
Yeah.
So you weren't there for that, or you weren't there for that?
I was
wasn't
with you.
in there for that.
Sky was with me. So
Yeah.
so we were filming. We went live to do like I think an EVP session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like when I get kids' voices either, Dennis. And it makes me feel bad because what we do is, and Dennis, you gave me this trick on our first phone call. We were talking about Smith's Castle, and Dennis said, I got a trick for you, Larissa, when you do an EVP session. It was George Taylor, Paula. He said, read nursery rhymes. So we went up to the attic in the carrot or the outside house, and we're reading nursery rhymes. And this little boy, he just started following me around, and I asked if he wanted to sit on my lap, and then he ended up, we got him on SLS. I felt the cold chill. We got him hugging my leg and everything, and then, he followed us across the way, and that's when we got the here on the EVP. And it bothers me. It really bothers me a lot, and I'm sure it bothers other people too, because it's a kid. You don't want that.
Mm-mm.
That's
You know,
sad. You
it
wonder
is.
what happened to him.
Well, I mean, I on my read, he died of illness. He died of something in the water, like dysentery, something like that. But it's common, that's what happened all over. Yes.
Dennis said they
Yes.
know that they haven't been forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it always makes me wonder, where when I look around and I can't sense the adult, I look for the adult. I look, are they alone? That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So the kid got left behind. There's like no adult in there.
There were adults there. No, there were. It's just like on your first, I'm saying like when you're first there and you first hear the kids, you're like, I look for the adults. Like, oh my God, is this kid by himself? That's like, it's like when you find a stray and you're looking for the,
Yeah.
the owner. That's how I feel as a medium. Because I'm a mom too. I'm like, oh my God, I hope this kid's parent is somewhere here. We ended up finding other people there, and he had siblings there with him too. But that's not always the case. There are cases where we go places and there is a kid by themselves and they are lost, and it stinks. In this case, he was not by himself.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but he really enjoyed the nursery rhymes. So I have to say, Dennis, that's been one of the best tricks that we've ever learned.
Yeah.
Dennis has a question
Dennis
for you.
has a question, Anna.
Have you dealt with any child spirits? Actually, it's interesting that you asked me that. The last book I wrote, I didn't directly deal with the child spirit, but there was a child spirit that was missing. And the child, apparently, according to what they found out, might have been involved in a fire. His bones eventually were found in the basement of this house. It's a sizable house. It had like 20 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, a ballroom, the whole works. And he had been missing reportedly. And he was found, his skeleton was found hugging a dog in the basement. I mean, obviously, the skeleton of a dog. And they said that when they were investigating, I think they saw like a someone who was standing there, and the camera was angled in such a way that it was panned down to the ground, and you could see his shoes before you saw the rest of him. And they said it looked like about an 11-year-old kid, 10 or 11-year-old kid.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
That's
very sad.
Yeah. That's the worst when you run into them.
Yeah.
But we bring them toys. We bring them Boo Buddy.
Yeah, we do.
They like when stuff lights up.
Do they
Ghost ball.
respond to that?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they, like, you know, when they've never seen something light up. Well, they do it, you know, at George Taylor, people come in there all the time with lights, but, you know, just based on the era of when they lived, you know, if something's lighting up, it's fascinating to them. Yes,
Yep.
Boo Buddy, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the music boxes, they love the music boxes.
They like the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We recently tried Twister.
Yeah.
We tried a game of Twister. Yep. Tapping flashlight. We're always trying something new. You know, lots
Hide
of
and
different
seek.
things.
They like hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
First, they like that.
8-year-old boy named Tommy.
What? Oh.
I did a session with an Ouija board.
Oh.
His name started. He said his name started to fire.
Huh. That's interesting. They love games. Yeah.
Did you notice that these things tend to linger? The energy tends to linger when there's something tragic or violent that happens.
I think that energy is a huge component to every haunting. I really do. I think it's a given. If you die tragically, unaware, fast, quick, I think that, you know, that's a big component as to whether or not you're going to stick around. I think I think there's a lot to be said about like the haunted attractions, the energy there. It's like Hell House is fed. It is fed. People come in there and scream, and that excitement, and it feeds the location.
Yeah.
Tragedies such as fire, murder scenes, you're feeding that terror, that energy that a person puts out, absolutely feeds a location. And over time, the more things that happen on the location, obviously feed it more and more. So yeah, I do believe in that. And I do believe in stones and ley lines and water, conduits, 100%. And 3 years ago, I would have never believed in any of that. I would have told you that all that stuff on TV, nonsense. And I'm a medium, and I still would have told you that. But after investigating the places that I've investigated and seen different things, I do believe that.
Yeah. We also come across spirits at Hell House, especially, that they're just visiting. They pop in. We haven't seen them before. They pop in. They're like, hey, here we are. And they pop out. It's like they sense energy. They're coming in, but we know they're not from Hell House. We know. So they like pop in and they like, me and Alyssa are like, what's going on right now? Like, we're like, who is this person? And then they pop out. So it's like they know we're there and they sense the energy and here they come. Like it's just imploding.
I was in the basement at Hell House with Marlena when Daryl Marston came for Friday the 13th. I was floating around. I wasn't with any specific team. And I went down to her team in the basement. And I turned and I looked and I saw a man I had never seen standing there. And he had a bloody leg. And I got his name and everything. And I looked at the guy, at our evidence tech, Keith, and I said, point your SLS right there. I said, somebody's standing right there. And he pointed it. And there, boom, right up, showed right up on the SLS. This guy had never been in Hell House.
Mm-mm.
I don't know where he came from.
And
he
the other
moseyed in.
And the other entity did not want him there.
The energy of the location, I think, attracts them. I really do. That particular location. I think it happens in other places too. We're just there so much that we know who's there. So when I'm there in the basement and it's not the shadow guy, it's not the Navy guy, and here's this guy now, I'm like, okay, well, where'd you come from? Just moseyed in.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to the State Theater in Easton?
Ooh.
I have, but not to investigate. It's a beautiful building on the inside.
I haven't been there, but I want to be there.
I don't
It's almost
know.
like mystery.
No.
No.
I haven't heard of it. I've just heard of like it's haunted.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. But
I
then
did-
again, I was told what theater isn't haunted. That's what I was told. All theaters are haunted. And I'm over here like, why didn't I know this?
I did live in the first bakery.
I heard
in
it was
Easton.
really badly haunted.
What?
Who just said that?
Who said that?
Anna.
Oh.
I think she's freezing now.
Oh.
Is our broadcast haunted again?
I think I don't. Well, somebody saw a black figure go behind me.
No, I didn't say anything.
This is a
You
wall.
didn't say anything?
I didn't say anything. I heard that.
Where'd
Uh-oh.
the voice come from? Dennis, you heard that? Stop it right now.
Behind
I'm
you.
done.
I'm not losing
No.
my mind.
I heard
Okay.
it too.
I thought it was Anna.
Okay, so here we go. We're on ops, and now we got this.
Okay, so there's
It was
black,
very
there's
clear.
a black figure go by me.
It's
The
very
Wi-Fi
clear
is
it was a
not
woman.
working.
I don't.
No.
We're gonna replay this and then put this on ops.
Yes, we are. We're gonna find it and we're gonna show it everywhere.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Whoever the lady is, geez. at
I
least
thought
announce
somebody
it.
was in the room with you.
I thought it was you.
Sky, I thought. Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the blame. Apparently, there's someone hanging out with me tonight.
Casey, ops on ops.
Where's our hashtags, Casey?
Oh gosh, only us. I swear.
I'm done.
Spirit has attached. Oh goodness.
Anna, are you bringing ghosts on our ghost podcast? You keep your ghosts in Doylestown.
Yeah, she
Don't you
was.
bring
She
them
was
over here.
responding to the.
Sky, you have a black figure walking
I
around.
didn't say a word, but I heard her very clearly. I thought that Larissa was saying something. Huh?
No. I am alone and I don't have any figures around me. Don't anybody start commenting, Facebook user that I can't see your name, that there's anybody near me. because there's no. Oh, wait.
It is
Paula?
Skylar. There is something behind her.
No.
There's something behind you. I'm just telling. I don't know what it is. It's like this.
Wait,
I
are you
want to
guys
drink what you
serious?
ladies are. It's a woman. Play the clip. Play the clip.
How we
Sky,
gonna
you
play
need an exorcism.
All right,
Woman,
Spirit
yes.
lady,
It is
tell
a
us if you
woman.
think
Hi, Marianne.
what is happening.
I don't know.
Are you telling me that all of you are seeing a black shadow in like what I
We're
quit.
gonna
I'm
play that
playing
back
the clip.
later. We're gonna have
Let's
to check that
watch-
out.
Yeah, let's watch the real paranormal happen on the screen.
What year is it?
How old are you?
Do you like that ball on the table?
Can you finish this?
You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. How does somebody say sure? Here.
Yeah, okay.
that flashlight on the table?
Wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here.
very
Are you
clear.
going to
Yeah.
church on
Great.
Sunday?
It sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Marvelous.
Do you want me to play it again, Larissa?
No, I heard it.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted because your earphone. You know what, guys? Get out of the comments. Leave me alone, please.
I didn't hear anything.
Well,
What was that?
I don't know. We're gonna play this all back though. I do think that it's very strange. It's very interesting though, Anna. Like I have to say, every time we have a different guest on, we have a different experience.
Yes.
And with you in particular, I think that it's interesting that our broadcast, this is like we've done 30 episodes already. Sky, we're at like 30. And
Yeah.
That's awesome.
we've never had a broadcast abruptly end.
No, but can I say, depending on our guests, if I am in my bedroom, something does happen. It's normally like nothing that you guys can see though. It's something will fall like off to the side, and I'll look over and stare, and then it goes away.
Well, then stop being in your bedroom.
I didn't have a choice.
I mean, I do think that you do have something about you. Just me, like just reading you, which I don't do on purpose. It's just I pick things up. And just hearing your stories and just about your life and whatnot. I do think that maybe you have a little something where things might follow you, and maybe that energy is coming through a little bit, and our broadcast is a little haunted. I don't know. What do you think?
We welcome it. I'm just kidding.
I do have family members around me. I have been told that. But it's not anything.
I know.
It's not anything malevolent. It's
No.
my grandmother, my aunt, and my uncle, basically.
I wasn't saying it was malevolent. I was just trying to say it wasn't me.
Wait,
No, it's scaring me. That's why I said that.
Oh no, I'm not trying to scare you.
Oh, man.
No, it's just not me. I just want to point
I
out
don't want anything else.
it's definitely Sky. And maybe you.
it's okay. I have. Thank you. Are you reading me from wherever you are? Because I've learned it's very hard to read me.
No, Anna, we were having fun with you. We've never had a broadcast quit. Our broadcast quit us at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Did anyone mark that time?
Did
What time
anyone
did it
mark the time?
Dennis, we don't have to because we'll go back and review this. Like as soon as I get off the feed, I go back and review it. So
Yeah.
before I post it.
That's going to be interesting.
Well, actually it posts, but I actually go back and review it and then I save it to post it to TikTok because it's already on there.
Posted a TikTok. Ops got a ops.
Ops got a ops. Ops got it. Ops has its own socials. Follow Ops on social.
Hashtag ops got ops. At some
Oh
point.
boy.
No, we didn't mark the
On
time.
next
We'll go
week's
back and mark it.
episode.
Anna, we really do try to be serious, but at some point it goes off the rails. Casey knows. He hasn't pointed it out yet, though. He might have already left the broadcast.
Yeah, he's been awfully quiet. Casey, where'd you go?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be keeping us on track.
I know. What the heck, dude?
Well,
Seriously? I've never had a show where I actually saw something passing behind someone.
I
He's just taking it
Yeah.
all in. He's
Like, I thought Sky had somebody walking right behind her. Like, where are you?
This is
Yeah.
a wall.
That's a wall?
Yeah, this is
somebody
a
was
wall.
dancing with her.
So if you guys, I mean, the light in front of me does cast a shadow. So if something were moving over there, you would see it back here. But I am alone in my room. Grandmom's ring.
What?
you are not alone in your room, Sky. That's what they're trying to tell you. You are not alone. Well, Anna, what you don't know about Sky is Sky does have gifts and abilities. She just hasn't like fully developed them yet. She doesn't know what to call them. She doesn't
I
talk
tune 'em
about
out.
them. Yeah, so she don't talk about them a lot. But
Okay.
yeah,
I hear
she
you.
does have a lot. She does have a lot happen to her, and on investigations, and she does know stuff. So I'm not shocked. And she lives in a creepy house that I don't go in. I don't go in it. Marlena, have you gone in her house, in her creepy house?
No, I drop her off and I go.
Her house is creepy.
Drop and go. Drop and
Hey,
go.
right?
So, in my basement, I won't go inside her house.
Anna, you want to write a book? Go to Marlena's house, go in her basement, and go to Sky's house and just look at it. Just look at it. It's creepy.
What's in there?
My house is creepy.
I don't know.
No, we won't even. Nope, I don't go in the basement. I told my husband since we moved in there, I said I ain't going in that basement. I'm not doing it. And then Larissa came over to visit my cousin, and she looked. She's like, I'm not going in that basement. Like, thank you, because they think I'm crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not going down there.
I will Anna, I am a very candid person. I'm very honest. I am a chicken. I will not. I'm a terrible medium because I will not do what I'm supposed to do and go meet around the dead people. I will not go into haunted places by myself. I will not go into the haunted locations. I say I'm going to go, but I'm afraid of everything. So it's
I'm like you. I don't go in. I just write about it. I just ask people, well, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. When did it happen? And I start writing everything down. And that's it. I'm not going in there.
I strap on all the Ghostbuster gear, and then I say, where you guys want me to go? And then I say, I'm not going in there. I'm not doing it. Ask them, they'll tell you. I'll be like, Marlene will go. I'm not doing this.
I go in the buddy system. I take somebody with me.
No, really, I'm too scared. I'll go like in Hell House. I might go to the bathroom by myself. Now I'll go to the bathroom by myself, but not before. Before Marlena used to have to go with me.
Yeah, buddy system for that one.
Me and Marlena still use the buddy system. Jim Thorpe Cemetery. Ooh. Sorry, I'm really reading these comments. People are attacking me. I hope you know that.
Okay, who is the Facebook user? Who's Facebook user? I need your name. I can't say hi. Who is that? The ring in the basement. Facebook user. I need
I
need
believe that's Marianne. If I'm correct.
Yeah, that's Marianne Clark.
I don't know because somebody said Marlena with exclamation points. Like, who is this? Okay, Marianne.
Paula, I do not live in my grandmother's house. As far as I know, no family member of mine has ever lived here.
But when me and Larissa won't go somewhere, Alan and Jason will send them in. We'll
See,
guinea pig them in.
Casey remembers. See, Casey remembers. I won't go in the attic. I don't care.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fine, Casey.
Fun fact, Casey, I made Marlena come check that door when I was trying to go to sleep because I thought it opened.
Yeah, that was good.
And no, we've never gone to the Jim Thorpe Cemetery. So Anna, I have a question for you since you are on here, like, and you write about stuff.
Okay.
Have you ever done a memoir about anybody who's gone to a cemetery and gotten attachment from that? That
Yeah.
intrigues me.
Yeah. And they have no idea what the heck it was, but it looked like a werewolf. And the cemetery was about as dilapidated as the house that was near it. And then it was like, it seemed like the whole area had a history. And one of the things they said was that somehow it was cursed. And they don't know why it was cursed, but he actually went over there. He didn't realize that there was something going on. And then he was photographing, and out of the corner of his eye, something came out between the trees. And whatever it was, at first he thought was a dog until it unfolded itself. And it was like about 9 feet tall.
Wow. Wow. And that
And then
it attached?
he ran. What's that?
It attached to him though, like it, or he just saw
No,
that?
he ran to his van and he shut the door and he sat there and he tried to start the engine, and of course the engine wouldn't start because
That's a
these
horror
things
movie.
apparently drain everything. And then he was like to take a photograph of whatever it was. It was skimming the surface of the ground. So there was like a broken wall and it was going through the wall. And it was almost like it was running, but it had no legs. And it was coming
What?
towards him. And then finally his vehicle started driving, but he had no control over it. It was just driving wherever it wanted to go.
That
Oh
sounds
my
like a skinwalker.
God. Yeah, it sounds like a skinwalker. But
It was
Casey might be onto something with an elemental though.
Yeah. Let me throw
That
that
was-
comment back up.
it's huge though.
Yeah, that sounds like
The
it.
shapeshifter.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
Shapeshifter.
kind of story that I needed to hear in high school when I was
There's so many of them. There's so many
hanging
different
out in
ones.
cemeteries for no reason.
Yeah. But I wondered about that, Anna, because we started in cemeteries during COVID and I had one bad experience and nope. Done. So
What happened?
I just got followed home and I already have them coming to me. So like, I didn't need that. Like, honestly, it was more like, somebody coming into your house when you're sleeping. Like, why go looking for them like that? Investigating an active haunting, I think, is different than going and finding or stirring one up. Like they're there, they're resting. So I just thought, and I also saw something in the cemetery that I did not like. I couldn't explain it, and it was in the beginning of the investigating. And it did not, I don't like to throw demonic out there because I really don't believe that everything is demonic. I really don't. But it was dark. It was not friendly. I don't know if it was like guarding the cemetery. I don't know what it was, but my husband went into this shed, I guess like a caretaker shed. And I didn't want him to go in there. I had gone up to it. I felt like I shouldn't go in it. He went in it, and as soon as he went in it, there was like he experienced something like a chill or whatever. He had explained to me later, but he experienced this chill, and I'm watching from outside, and I saw a black cloud come out of the door and like go up, and I don't know. That was too much for me.
See, to me, that sounds
Sometimes
like
it's not about what you see, but how you feel too. Like if it's undefined and black,
Yeah.
it's usually not good. It's evil.
Right.
And my
And
understanding is those are the ones that wreak havoc on people, make them sick, cause them to have, lose their jobs and whatever.
agreed. It was smoke.
I
And
know.
see, that's,
Yeah,
it was,
Mm-hmm.
Dave asked which
I
cemetery.
know.
um,
Hmm.
it's the old Ukrainian cemetery in Palmerton. So it's very old,
The
like
To me, it
late
sounded like a gatekeeper or like a guardian.
like Anna said, it was not defined. So,
Yeah.
sometimes we see a shadow and it's not every shadow you see is an evil entity. Sometimes they just shroud themselves. Like sometimes I can't tell who they are. They're just showing themselves as a shadow. That is very different feeling. Like she said, sometimes I can feel what they are. And sometimes they're just showing them. You know this, Marlena. They just show themselves that way, but they don't feel evil. That's different. This felt wrong, and it was black smoke. No, like big fat no.
You're like, gone. That's why I don't go to cemeteries. I don't even visit my relatives. I'm like, you know what? I'll just, send good vibes.
I mean, no, I will go visit cemeteries, no problem.
I'm
I
good.
just won't go in there like, hey, Ghostbusters, let's like, who wants to talk? Go to the
I was that
graveyards.
kid, Dennis.
Yeah.
That was me. I was an annoying teenager in a cemetery all the time for no reason.
Now I like it. See, I like it when you go to cemeteries and they do the old, chalk. You know what I'm talking about?
the rubbing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That I love. But would I ever do that myself? No. No. But I love when people do that.
That's all the acknowledgement he gets, Dennis. You stay in the comments.
How come everybody loves Alan?
I don't know. He's not even on here. He's just in the comments.
Get out of
Like
here.
a
You're not a
paragraph.
host. You're not a host or a special guest. Get off the feed.
You guys are supposed to love us on the screen, not in the
We're
comments.
supposed to love our special guest. What are you?
Right. Right. This is about Anna, Alan.
Yeah, hello.
You want to hear a really weird incident? Oh, wait.
Yes.
Oh, really? That happened?
Yeah, so we were walking. What he's talking about is we had a SB7 and we were walking and I heard, not on the SB7, I heard a voice say Austin. And as we were approaching, we were passing his great grandparents' graves and we weren't even married yet. Like that's how long ago this was. So we were approaching the graves and he's like, my great grandparents are here somewhere. And we got to like right at their graves. And he goes, I think this is them. And I had just heard the name Austin in my ear, and right over the SB7 as we passed their graves, it went Austin right there, like right at the graves. So yeah, it was creepy.
Ooh, that's wild. That gave me chills.
It was.
Real clear?
Clear. The only thing that came over the SB7 the whole night was Austin. So, yeah.
This one that I heard was so clear. The one that was on this show.
Hey, it was so clear. I'm
here?
going to play it again.
Yeah, play it again. Play it again.
Yeah. I mean, it was like one of us talking, and I swear I didn't say a word.
Oh, I know.
Oh, she means
that
before.
one.
I was going to ask you guys if you heard it again because I heard in between us talking somebody else.
I think what might have happened is the broadcast glitched. So we're going to have to go back. Now, if it didn't glitch, everybody who's in the comments, okay? If you heard it, message us because Anna will have another episode and we'll play it and we'll try and bring you guys on.
Yeah, because that was insane. That was
We'll bring everybody on.
Like Scott said, I thought I heard it again.
Yeah. So if you heard it, like Dennis heard it, Casey heard it, I think Dave might have heard it. I don't know who else heard it. I'll have to go back and look. But let's play the clip again because we're running out of time, and then Anna will have you answer some more questions before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. I'm hitting
Okay.
What year is it?
How old are you?
Do you like that ball on the table?
Can you finish this?
You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. Somebody say sure. Here.
Can you turn
that flashlight on the table?
Wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here.
very
Are you going to church on Christmas?
It sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I did see something out of the corner of my eye. I thought it was my cat, and I turned, and it wasn't my cat. So, but that could be my
You
eyes
mean
playing
where
tricks
you
on me.
are?
Yeah, I did. I really thought my cat was over there. It's not my cat. So I don't know.
Maybe you have a ghost kitty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was creepy. Another good one. It almost went on too high. Okay. So Dave asked some questions. Or
Dennis asked
Alias.
a
Yep.
question. And how do your roots affect the stories you tell? I think he had another question asking if your ethnic background affects things that go on around you. I couldn't find it in the comments before.
You know, I don't know. It's weird because I know in my ethnic background we're like 99.9% Roman Catholic. And so all the kinds of interpretations we have about these ghosts and apparitions tend to be more like is it a malevolent spirit or is it a good spirit? There's a lot of people that feel that these kinds of things happen when there's a tragedy, which I subscribe to. I believe that. I think that when there's something violent that cuts off someone's life suddenly, or even just someone who's abused physically or emotionally, the emotions that they bring up tend to attract, like Larissa was saying before, the energy tends to get negative, and then that in itself makes these things attached to them. And then the common reaction, of course, is they have to pray over the person, they have to bring them to a priest, that kind of stuff. But I know in the country I came from, there's a lot of haunted areas. And someone told me it's probably one of the most haunted places in Asia, only because it's seen so much violence. There's been a lot of wars, and because people tend to be very emotional. We're kind of like, always in upheaval, and the things that are happening in the country to this day. There's just a lot of places where there's a lot of people who have encountered negative spirits, like really negative spirits. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it just seems to lend to a different kind of interpretation. And it's usually more like religious.
Thank you. Thank you. So that answered.
Okay.
Marianne, did anyone hear a woman say, "I see that"? For that question, is that regarding the feed itself or our EVP that we showed from George Taylor?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either. And that was a hard clip to listen to. Too much goes on. We need to silence our phones. We learn from our evidence clips. Like we really need to do some stuff different. Religion plays as much part. Larissa, can you see me? Well, chances are.
Okay. David said, "Do you feel that religion plays as much a part in the perception of a haunting as a geographic location, country?"
That's a good question. I don't know that I have an answer to that. I mean, does it play a part in the way we deal with a haunting? Yes. A lot of times there's parts of the country I know that I came from where they don't necessarily call a priest, but they call someone like a shaman, the equivalent of a shaman, who then, puts together like some kind of a religious spell to try to extricate or remove whatever it is that the spirit left behind. They always think like, and I know in some parts of the world, they think illness is brought about by an evil spirit. So there's parts of the country in the Philippines where they feel that. They feel that somehow if someone gets sick, it's not necessarily because of, germs or some kind of bacteria, but because there's some kind of spirit or maybe even a curse. So in that manner, it's the way it's solved that's affected. Geographically, I think you're not as likely to see these kinds of things in the cities. But I think that's also true, with any country, including the US. The busier it gets, the more people there are, you're not as likely to have a haunting per se as you would like in a remote location, or in a forest, something like that.
So that's interesting answer and question.
Mhm.
Because one of the things that I think was it me and you that talked about it? I don't know, Marlene, if it was me and you that talked about it, but somebody recently that I had a conversation with, we were talking about Western medicine and how mental illness, the belief that it was us, the belief that mental illness could be demonic possession in so many more cases than we really know. But Western medicine, because in our country, we were talking about it specifically, science, the devil's greatest trick is making people believe he doesn't exist, right? From a Christian standpoint. And science does just that. So just talking about it from that perspective, from the religious perspective, you rule out the religious perspective when you're talking about mental illness. It's not demonic possession. So these people get put into institutions and they're treated with medicine, but could very well in another country, like a third world country, it's very well could be demonic possession, or that might be the first thing that they look at. So that's an interesting question and an interesting answer.
I remember that conversation because I brought up schizophrenia. I was with you guys for that.
Yep, it was all three of us.
And I have to say, Anna, just from my beliefs, my personal Larissa's beliefs, not ops, just Larissa. I've seen things on TV like shows and true crime cases and come across things that I absolutely cannot believe that a human being could do it. To an animal or a baby or a child, I don't believe a human being could do it. It has to be a monster. So that's where my mind just shifts that it can't be human. You can't have a soul and do those things.
See, I agree with that because when you look at these serial killers, you kind of wonder what really compels them to do all those horrible, inhuman things. Something must be taking charge of them to make them be so depraved.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking of a particular case like Dahmer, who dismembered all the bodies. I mean, what kind of person could possibly really do that? Unless they were.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They said they heard voices and the voices were telling them, and they,
and
we
some
don't-
of them during
that's the scary part. Like, we don't know.
some of them during interviews, even their own voice changes and almost sounds like a demonic entity in their interviews with police officers, and it is absolutely insane. I love listening to serial killer podcasts and like watching the shows. John Gacy, he's
absolutely.
another one.
How about the eyes of some of them? How about the way they look at you? How about that?
Soulless, nothing is there. They're not there.
It's emptiness. It's
Empty.
now I'm not
Totally.
saying, and I'm not saying that that's the other thing is these people were babies. They were at one point born human. So you got to think, were they couldn't have been born that way. So again, religion versus science. What happened? Something got them. Something.
Is it possible for them to be born and their soul go? Like,
It depends.
immediately.
It depends on your religious. Again, we're going into the religious realm, right? From a Christian perspective, all children are born in the image of Christ. That's Christian. You're born. That's right. Maybe you're raised Catholic, right, Anna?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
But
is that
see,
not
I
like?
don't believe that.
I'm
I
not
guess
saying
I'm
whether
not.
you believe it. No, the premise. I'm
Yeah.
saying like the premise. That's what
Yeah.
the premise is, that a baby is born like innocent, right? And then they do the what? The christening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Baptism.
The listen, I said I
Baptism.
was raised that way. I didn't say I was the best at it. Okay. Like I was raised that way. I'm not exactly great at it. No, I'm saying the premise of it. So Scott, to answer your question, it's just what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're raised Christian, that's the belief system, that they're supposed to be born that way. I don't know.
It was just a thought for anybody, even in the comments.
I mean, but what do you believe, Anna? So what's your belief then?
Well, I personally think that, well, I depart rather radically from the Roman Catholicism that everybody believes in. I mean, I believe in the rites because I know they have a place. You walk into a place that you need blessed, or you need the infestation to go away. They carry the holy water, they carry salt, they do all these rituals to make it purer, so to speak, or to clear the air. But apart from that, I also believe in reincarnation, which I know is very different from what people would consider to be a Roman Catholic. And I guess I'm more kind of like a little bit of everything as time went on. I believe in the concept of people coming back in order to make reparation. And so, in that vein, I couldn't say that everybody was born totally in the image of God. I think they're back in three-dimensional reality because they have something that they need to correct, or they have something more that they need to learn.
So this is where I
But
always
that's
get
just me.
confused. No, this is where I always get confused, because you're right. I was raised Catholic, but I have, me and Marlene and Sky talk about this all the time. I have beliefs from all different systems. And I don't know, how can we have spirits that are trapped here if we get reincarnated? That's a question that plagues me all the time.
That's for
Wait, what
me.
was the question?
How do spirits get trapped here if they get reincarnated?
Okay, go ahead, Marlena. Sorry.
I don't think all of them get reincarnated. That's my thing. I think once you passed all the levels that you're supposed to pass, you're done. Like you don't have any more lives. Like you're done. You learned all the lessons you needed to learn. You upped where you're supposed to be, and then you choose where you want to be. So if you want to be on this plane, you're on this plane. If you want to go wherever you're supposed to meant to go, then you go there. But that's just how I believe it.
Yeah.
But everybody's different. Like you grew up different from me. Like the baptism thing. I honestly think if you think about it, when kids are so young, they're impressionable. So when we see, like we were talking about the serial killers, so who like, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Let's say they have an invisible playmate. That invisible playmate they see as a friend. Then when they get older, I think that's when it starts to wean into them. So yeah, they may be born innocent, but they're so like, oh, my friend, my friend, my friend. And you as a parent are like, oh, they have a friend. But let alone there is somebody trying to take over them. I
Oh, I
believe that does
see.
happen in some instances. You know what I mean?
That
I think it does
Yeah.
get scary eventually. That's how I feel some of that happens. Like we talked about Dahmer and all them. I think they might have had something like that happen where when they were born, something just kind of came along, was like, hey, I'm gonna be your friend. And then it just went from there. But that's just how I am.
No, that's very interesting. And I really was genuinely asking because I have different beliefs too. And
Yeah,
I
we
just
all do.
always wondered.
That's the best part of it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that would make perfect sense because if you think about it, like for serial killers, what's the typical age that they start killing cats?
Exactly.
Bunnies.
Like, yeah.
They're like between
9.
8 and 9.
9,
Yeah.
10. like 5, I think was the
Mhm.
youngest I've heard.
Right about the time that they
Wow.
stop seeing their invisible friend.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well,
So
that's great.
it's so question for you, Marlene. Do you think the invisible friend is actually something that's influencing them?
Absolutely. I think it's influencing him and is waiting for the perfect time to go for it. It's just waiting for that perfect time.
Do you think that's
That makes
always
a
the
lot of
case,
sense.
though?
I think it's testing that person at first, to test that child at first to see what they're capable of. And then once that act happens, that's it. They go full force.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, as somebody who had invisible friends, hopefully they've
Yeah.
long and gone.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And that does make a lot of sense, the whole invisible friend thing. And you know what a great study would be? Asking serial killers if they had invisible friends. Has
Yep.
anybody ever asked them?
I don't think
Oh,
anybody
That's a good
has.
one.
But you want to know something? If they asked them, here we go, right back to the religious versus or spiritual versus scientific approach. How many of them said that they saw things and heard voices and it
Yep.
was discounted as mental illness?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So we
How many of
circled
them?
right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
David
this
had a
happens when they're so innocent and they can see it. We can't see it, but they can see it because they're so innocent, and they test them. That's what I think happens. They just test them.
yeah. David had a question. He thinks it might be off topic. I think it's pretty much on topic. Do you believe in
Yeah.
a well of souls that holds every soul from people who have passed away and stores them until a new life is born? That's like the Disney movie Souls
Yeah.
when they drop down the hole into Earth. I don't know about a well
So-
of souls holding every soul.
No. That to me sounds
So,
like,
like a holding pattern, like an airport, and they're
Yeah.
waiting to
Coming
take
and
the
going.
next plane.
oh, it's kind of like that movie. What's it called? Boss Baby, when they're waiting to be reborn and they're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I think that's
Okay.
what yeah.
Meanwhile,
So like the astral plane.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
I just pictured a Cabbage Patch and a store. I did not see a well, but okay.
So here's an old book that I read way back. I don't know if you guys have heard of Dolores Cannon. She passed away probably 2 years ago. And she lived in Arkansas. She had a series of books. One of them was called In Between Lives. And that reminds me, that question of the Well of Souls.
In Between Lives. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Dolores
Yeah.
Cannon.
Write that down, Larissa.
Yeah,
I'm writing it right now.
check that out.
In Between Lives.
But is it Elias? How do you say that? Elias Paranormal?
Alias Paranormal. Yeah.
Paranormal.
Isn't that purgatory? Is that one?
I think we're in purgatory.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think this is our purgatory. I'm just saying. The world is
You're way off. This can't be purgatory. This is like, no, if this is circles, this is like
I was
before.
trying to make a joke, Larissa.
Wait. Okay, so before that, I think Larissa, you pulled this up before, but nobody touched base. He loves how priests come for clearing of a house. Does that mean all bad ghosts are Catholic?
Pretty much.
It's a good
Pretty
question.
much. You heard what they said about Catholic schoolgirls.
What's wrong with this?
I went to Catholic school, Dennis.
Oh, now we know what's wrong.
I think like when this happens, like in a Muslim haunting, they get an imam.
Yeah.
And then if it's like a Jewish household, they get a rabbi. No, seriously.
Well, yeah,
On a
that's
serious
like
note.
you said,
Yeah.
they're shamans, depending on your background, like Native Americans,
Yeah.
Philippines. They have shamans.
Yep.
No, Anna, we don't do that. We get our chaos magician. We have Marlena.
I change
Yes.
my religion every couple of my spiritual changes every couple of months. So I
No, seriously, Marlena, tell Anna. You know what a chaos magician is, right? That's what she does.
Yeah.
She addresses
Senior
hauntings.
case manager.
She's that too. We
She-
all
Grab
hold
the
those
page.
titles.
She's a chaos magician. She's laughing. No, seriously, it's a thing. She's a chaos
Yeah,
magician.
I'm a
I
chaos-
know. It's a real thing. Exactly.
What is
You can Google it.
chaos?
It's a chaos magician.
She's
Nobody's
a
going to
chaos
believe you.
magician.
Yeah, it's okay. So what happens is I change my beliefs every couple months to fit what I believe spiritually. But when that happens is I'm taking it from different points of view. So there are certain religions I won't go into because they are closed. I will not go into them. I know better. I will not do that. But there are ones that I will, let's say Norgan, yeah, I can't talk. Norse pagan. I'll look up that and I'll be like, oh, okay, well, this makes sense and this makes sense. Then when we go to a location and let's say we came across somebody who is doing something in there, I can figure out what they were doing. And then I can go to Larissa and be like, this is what's going on. This is why this is happening. Like they did this. So I relate to them in that way. I'm not mocking anybody. I'm respecting what their beliefs were at the time they were alive.
So you're acting like a translator in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I just understand where they're coming from. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Religion wise, spiritual wise, I understand where they're coming from.
So yeah, that's what a chaos magician does. She got certified as a chaos magician.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
We
learned
are all
something
on our
new.
way to find a spiritual path.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm always learning something new. So it's fun for me because I like learning different things.
Once we get Sky on board as a shaman, which she wants to be,
We'll be set.
we will be complete. We will be Legends of Tomorrow. That's it.
What
That's
she
it.
wants to be, that's not a choice.
We're gonna be the
Choose for
X-Men,
shaman life.
Paranormal X-Men.
X-Men. No, we're Deadpool. I don't know what you're talking about. This is Deadpool. X-Men.
Did you
So,
say
yeah,
cesspool?
No.
No.
Deadpool.
It might be
Dead.
successful.
Dead as in not living.
Yes.
It's a comic. It's a
Okay.
The Alliance. We are superheroes.
I said LOL exactly. All right, Sky, we're getting skeptical. I think we need to play it like one more time.
I am. I'm gonna play it one more time, then I'm gonna throw some more comments up.
All right.
Here we go.
What year is it?
How old are you?
Do you like that ball on the table?
Can you finish this?
You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. I heard somebody say sure. Here.
Can you turn
that flashlight on the table?
Wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here. Are you going to church on Sunday?
It sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Did you
Very
guys
good.
get that on the live?
I know. I got so excited. Ridiculous. So do you think it was paranormal?
I heard a honk.
A hug?
A hunk?
A honk.
Like
A
a hot
hunk.
man, a hunk?
That's what I heard.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
On the EVP?
Towards the end. No, I didn't hear anything else. It was just like
Weird.
it went like that, like a beep, like a quick.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, me. Yeah, somebody else heard it too.
That's weird.
That was Alan said that was him, the hunk.
I was gonna ignore his comment. Thanks, Marlena.
You're welcome. Just
Okay.
figure it out there.
No, no one else heard it?
I
No,
didn't hear a honk.
no. And my cat just came in here, bit my leg, and ran. And my cat doesn't do that. He doesn't bite me and run. I don't know what that was. Like, weird. This is one of the weirdest broadcasts we've ever had. What in the world?
On more often. You need to be on more often. This is good.
Yeah, like, can you be a trigger object for us? Can you come to
Yes.
Hell House?
That's what it feels like.
This is the
Alex,
best
No,
that's
seriously, you didn't hear the honk? It went
Alex was
honk.
over near the road, so it could have been a car. I'm gonna play it again just to see if any of us hear it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
What year is it?
How old are you?
Do you like that ball on the table?
Can you finish this?
You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. How does somebody say sure? Here.
Yeah,
Turn that flashlight on the table?
Wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here.
very
Are you
clear.
going to church on Sunday?
That sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was.
It was at 57. 117:57. You hear the honk.
I don't know.
I didn't hear it. All I heard were the what were the meters that wouldn't stop
Yeah, I
going up?
heard the meters.
That's all I heard.
REM pod. Yeah, that was the REM pod in the background. Maybe that's the honk? No?
I don't think so. That wouldn't have sounded like a honk. I heard a child say here. Before that, I heard a light tapping on a glass object.
You know what we're gonna do, guys? Because there's so much happening in this clip, and this is an SLS clip. I'm gonna ask my evidence tech to find the EVP footage of it from the digital recorder and to pick that apart. That would be easier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
I
we're
think
gonna
we could
yeah.
pick through the live as well because we were live at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back on a different episode because there's a lot happening. Absolutely, Paula. We love doing this. I heard a whistle back faintly. See, I heard a kid. See, you guys have to understand when I'm talking in real time, I'm hearing that in real time. You guys may not be picking up on it, but my clear audience is hearing it. So I heard I heard sure. I was hearing stuff, but it's not being picked up on the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I took that away too fast.
I don't know, Teresa. I don't know. There was a witch, somebody that had been hung that was on the property, a relative, or she was related to a hanging of the Salem witch trials. It was like weird. I was picking up on it when we first got on location. And the people from the George Taylor house, the other team that was there, confirmed that. So I did pick up that female. I did pick the other one up, but that doesn't mean that didn't happen there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to pick everything up.
I have 2 questions in the comments if we want to go through those. Wait,
I heard sure too. I heard sure too.
Yeah.
I said it. I heard sure.
Yep.
So
Okay.
maybe that was the one that I had on the hanging.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll up here to aliens. Where did it go?
Aliens.
Somebody asked.
Alien.
Aliens.
I can't find it.
I did just hear something, but I think that was you, Sky.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody had asked what our view of aliens were. They said just a question. My comments only go so far on my phone.
So the other day, somebody asked me about aliens, and I'll tell you the same thing I told them. I don't want to think about it. I'd have a really small mind to think that we're the only people in the universe. So
Yeah.
I don't think that we are,
Mhm.
but I also don't want to mess with none of that by talking about them. So we ain't going to talk about that. Now, how do you guys feel?
Well, you just said we can't talk about it. I believe
Well,
in aliens.
You could talk about it. You could talk about it. They could come visit you. They ain't coming to visit me.
I've been trying to get them to come visit me since I was like 14. I believe in them. I think they have to be out there. I mean, if we're here, if all those weird creatures in the ocean exist, why can't they?
I'm the same way. Just like I think the megalodon
you
is so
want them to see.
or the aliens.
Don't wish for things you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
I
Anna,
was
And I'll
joking
tell
when
you
I said
what.
I wanted to meet them. It was a joke.
This woman that I've been interviewing for 3 months now, all this stuff that's happening to her, I mean, she's got bruises on her body. She's got all kinds of stuff happening almost every night. And she woke up one time, she was pretty much connected to the ceiling. She was supposedly lying on this steel bed, and there was this huge creature with the huge eyes, your proverbial bald alien that's gray, looking down at her. She starts screaming. She was supposed to be asleep, and then suddenly she just drops down from the ceiling onto her bed.
I can't tell. I can tell you that is one of the. That is. I'm so terrified of that. I don't even want to. I'd be alone in Hell House for a week straight in the pitch black before I would ever want to see an alien like that. I'm terrified of them.
I've had someone pose the question, what if spirits were were the aliens? What if it's the spirits pretending, like, I mean, the aliens pretending to be spirits that have lived previously?
I don't know. Now we're crossing into a science fiction
We
book.
are.
Maybe Anna, you want to write that book for us? That would probably be a good one.
Well, this last one that's coming out in April has that. On a serious
really?
note. Yes,
Can't wait.
because the way it started was, I was telling you guys earlier, it was that pistol that came into the house that was a haunted object. But as time went on, things got really weird. It took a turn. I won't give away everything, but things took a really strange turn for this woman. And I was puzzling over it. I was like, is this possible? Can this really happen? Are we just dealing with just everything paranormal in here, in this particular case? And it hasn't stopped. It's still going on right now. Oh, it's near you,
Wow.
Larissa, by the way.
What's near me?
Oh, one
I think
take.
she's talking about me.
No, nothing's near me. No.
No.
She
Nay.
said the lady with the blonde
No.
hair.
That's you, Marlena.
Nay.
When isn't there
Nay.
a young person around me?
That's true.
I'm
Okay,
a
before
kid
this one
magnet.
disappears,
I
I
try-
got another question from David. He says it might be harder to
Okay.
answer. What is the panel's stance on demonology? All religions have their own forms of demons. How do you prepare for that possibility when investigating?
Woo.
That's a good question. I'm not a demonologist. I don't know how to prepare for demons other than protecting myself in any way that I am already knowledgeable of. And even that, I don't think can protect us sometimes. I don't know anyone else's thoughts.
Demons are tricky just because that's what they're made to do. They're made to trick you. I think all the religions have a belief to them with the demons. I think there are demons that are different levels. There's no way to protect yourself really. I mean, besides, holy water, if you believe in that, crystals, if you believe in that, it's whatever you believe that's going to make it the strongest to protect you. So if you believe herbs are going to protect you and that's your strongest belief, you go with that. If you believe a crucifix is the strongest thing that's going to protect you, you strongly believe in it, that's what's going to protect you. But to prepare for it, there's really no other way of what you believe is the strongest for you. personally. I think it goes by the person themselves.
I have had 2 experiences in my life with demons. Both times the first time it happened, I was in serious trouble. I was not an investigator. Absolutely was nothing to do with the paranormal. I don't know how I came under attack. I don't know how it happened to me. But I do think that the darkness or the things that were happening in my life at the time definitely attracted it. And it was a slow leak into like the attack. Like looking back on it, I can see how it progressed. It was very interesting. And then when the attack happened, it was absolutely baffling. Like I don't even know. I couldn't see it. I couldn't, like, I lost my sight, like I lost my clairvoyance, but my daughter actually could see this thing and she actually drew it. And how I got out of it was through prayer. A reverend, my uncle who was a reverend, and the story is unbelievable. Like, I don't even have time to tell you on this podcast, and I've only ever shared it with Dr. Ken Torres. Really, it's the only person who really knows the whole story other than my husband. And the second time I was an investigator, I walked into a house. I saw something. I saw this thing on this woman. She was screaming that something was digging into her shoulders, and I saw it digging into her shoulders. I had no idea what to do. I froze. I looked at my investigator, Theo, and I said, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to get holy water. And when I turned around and I got to the doorway, something slapped me so hard clear across the face. Theo, my whole head moved, and he was like, holy crap, are you okay? I mean, just big red mark right across my face, because I was going outside to get holy water. I called another investigator who's a demonologist. It's what he does. And he took the case over. So how do you prepare? I wasn't prepared. No idea. I go in hoping and praying to I pray to Jesus that I'll be okay. That's all I do.
Well, you guys know that I began my life with a dad who was infested by what we felt was a very strong demonic entity. And no one in the family was prepared, least of all me. I was only 2 years old at the time. But I do know it followed us. And then later on, what happened was I ended up with a major illness. And it was kind of like one of those things where it does cause havoc in the family. People were losing their jobs, people getting sick. Eventually, I got sick. And the way I pulled myself out of it was I actually got very close to the church I started attending. I was still in the throes of healing from it, but it got to the point where I was praying every night and asking Saint Michael. That was, I think, the one thing I do remember was saying that prayer. So I said prayers of protection. I said the rosary. I said all the things that I felt would protect me. And eventually I healed from it. And, there were no more shadows in the house. There was a lot of unexplained scents and shadows in the house when things were happening. And then that kind of dissipated.
Wow.
On the topic of demons, devils and things, I have a photo. If you guys, anybody that has me on Facebook, I'm gonna post it after we get off of here, and I want your thoughts on it, because he quite literally looks like the devil.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, this is the longest running episode ever. You beat out Natalie Kreider.
I know. I didn't think that was possible, but you did it, girl. You did it.
Wow. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
And everybody hung
Maria.
in there. That's the best part. Everybody hung in there.
Wow.
They did. Yeah. This
They
was
did.
a great episode.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
And we had the most watches tonight of any episode ever in the history of Ops.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
So thank you to everybody, viewers, guests.
You go,
Anna
girl.
Maria. No, you go. You go. You guys are awesome. Imagine how many people would have been watching if it was the right broadcast, if it was the original one that they were invited to. Because this is not even the right broadcast. Just something to think about, guys. Maybe next time.
You gave us a good show and apparently brought out all of our home spirits as well.
Oh, great.
David,
We love
David,
questions.
we love
we
it.
appreciate in-depth questions because it helps the show. It helps us with the conversation. It keeps everything going. Don't
Yeah.
apologize. Don't you meant it. You wanted to ask.
We're an open book. I'm an open hot mess. I'm an open dumpster fire. What do you want to know? Bring your lighter fluid to the next episode.
Leave your lighter at home.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. Sky, take it away.
Yes.
And Anna, I hope you sign up again. It really was a pleasure. And
Thanks
I
so
look
much.
forward to
I'll see you
Yeah.
in September. We could really do some
Absolutely.
damage.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we
All
will.
right, guys. I'm gonna throw the EVP up one last time for those of you watching us at home and enjoying
right.
every bit of this. So
All
here we
right.
go, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
What year is it?
How old are you?
Do you like that ball on the table?
Can you finish this?
You heard it? Can you whistle? He said I can twice. Somebody say sure. Here.
Yeah.
that flashlight on the table?
Wow.
Did you guys get that on the
It went
line?
here. Yeah, here was
Here.
very
Are you
clear.
going to church on Sunday?
That sounded like a little kid.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was.
All right, guys. Paranormal? Yeah.
It's a honk.
It's a honk.
It's paranormal honk.
All right. Thank you, Anna, for joining us. Thank you, ladies, for hosting.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everybody at home, we hope you enjoyed our episode. Anything that you caught on your own, feel free to timestamp it and throw it in the comments. Let us know what you saw. To clip it down, show us, whatever. Feel free. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the comments. But on that note, keep an open mind. Don't be so skeptical. Join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And head over to Eventbrite. Check out all the tickets and events that we have coming up to you this year. They're all amazing. You get to meet special guests. So check that out. And we'll see you next week. Have a good night, guys. Let me play the commercial.